This is a question I get a lot, and I want to explain. Liquid inside the oyster and the liquid that I spilled on this tray are called oyster liquor. And if you get an oyster without oyster liquor, that's not a good sign. You see, the oyster liquor actually is a mixture of the seawater where the oyster came from and some of the oyster juices itself, and the liquor is what keeps the oyster alive while it's out of the water. For the most part, the liquor is just basically filtered seawater that the oysters take in, and for the most part, the liquor is normally pretty clear. The one caveat to that would be if it's spawning season, then sometimes the oyster liquor can be a little bit cloudy. In my opinion, oyster liquor is a really important part of when you're eating oysters, either raw or cooked, because it just adds that little bit of depth of flavor. And some people feel the only true way to eat an oyster is with just the oyster and the liquor, but you guys know how I feel about that one. I love a little bit of hot sauce on my oyster too. Now, on the opposite side, if you get an oyster without oyster liquor, that's a bad sign. That means that oyster probably is not safe to eat. Some people say you can cook it. Me personally, I would just toss it, because without the oyster liquor, it's really hard for that oyster to survive outside of the water.